Good morning, my Millionaire Growth partners. My name is Otis Tucker, the world's first trillionaire. I am creating heaven on earth, people, and the way that I do it is, number one, I help people to realize that what they consider to be their soul is the Spirit of God. Therefore, God lives inside of you, and all you have to do is take possession of that, and you become God, and you can co-create with God. I am also helping to create financial freedom for billions of people across this world. And the way that I do it, people, is that I've realized that the greatest asset in this entire world is people. Therefore, we shall, we must get paid to exist. And we will, we are creating in the spirit right now ways on how we'll make that happen. I am also creating 1,000,000 millionaires. I am the greatest leader that ever lived. I am God, people. And most important is that I manifest the words I speak. My message for you today, people, is that we are uniting the Caribbean and Africa. I say we because I mean the Spirit of God that lives in all of us. And we as the vessel, including me, myself, as a collective, we are creating that, people. And that's one of my greatest mandate. Obviously, is to create heaven on earth, yes. But a big part of doing that, people, is justice. And the way we make that happen is by uniting the Caribbean and Africa. For the longest time, God had gave me the vision. I think it was back in, beginning of the year, about united we stand, divided we fall. And I never understood what that meant. But of course, the surface meaning, we do know that. But it's like, what exactly does that look like? And what the Spirit was breaking down to me last night, man, is that yes, indeed, God's promise for this world, which is to bring about the greatest prosperity period that this world have ever seen, the greatest innovations, everything, it's all happening in this time. But the way we have to make it happen, people, is that we must unite the Caribbean and Africa. And I've known, I don't know exactly when, but I known that the two people that God is using is he's using Holness and he's using Abraham Chroy over there in Africa. And as we unite these two people, then what we're doing is we're uniting the regions. We're uniting the continent of Africa through Abraham Chroy, and we're uniting it for the Caribbean through Holness. I say this much. It's like, let me get this out the way right now, man. A couple countries, even though the Spirit and God have always told me the Caribbean, I've kind of narrowed it down to the CARICOM nations, but I want to expand on that, Like, I don't know why, but Dominican Republic, a lot been in my spirit. And I must say this, them and Cuba. Like, I want to include you in the Caribbeans, you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to tell you something, man. Is any countries with racist tendencies, which is very high over there in Dominican Republic. That's one of the reasons I've never visited, is because I understand the plight of Asian people and the experience that they have from documentary and research of exactly what happens over there and how they're treated less than. And for nations that want to claim to be, something other than what they are, you know what I mean? Like, is that, again, we're all from Africa. So unless you start really connecting with your roots, man, all I can tell you is this: Dominican Republic and Cuba, you must get rid of your racist ways, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that's the whole country that is, because that ain't the case. But there's a lot where I've, understand. Like, I remember being back in Texas. This was back in 2000, early 2000s, 2008, actually late 2010, 2009. And I remember being down there, and, I remember a girl was telling me that she wasn't allowed to date black guys. And, I know it sounds something that's so small and trivial, but listen, man, as a whole and collective, even down there in Florida, South Coast, right there in Miami, all I'm trying to get at, man, is racism have no place in this new world. And for nations that insist on maintaining or perpetuating that, I promise you, you will be excluded from this prosperity wave that's coming, because it's nothing but a matter of choice, And I'm telling you, all I know is the mandate is, yes, Caribbean and Africa, but I've also expanded it to include black people across this world because, we have the same experience, same plight, no matter where we have been. So I've excluded that to include the African diaspora. And right now, when it comes to these nations down there, like the Española and so forth, I promise you, is any countries that they direct any negative racist tendencies will be excluded from this mission. But I'll tell you this much. Here's what I know, facts. What I know, people, is that right now, it made me so happy yesterday. Yeah, the trees and winds starting to pick up to confirm this. But here's what I'm trying to share with you, people, is that I know for a fact that right now, this is the time when we rise and we're creating the greatest prosperity period in the history of this world. And that don't just benefit black people, benefit everybody. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when people talk about, pro-black or anything like that, it becomes a whole racist situation, man, where people are like, well, everybody, all this. Listen, man, when we were struggling, when people was experiencing all these things, I didn't see nobody else coming up and saying these things now, back then. So it's like, don't get me wrong, I always remember, because I always throw it out there, I am here for everybody, but I will always highlight the black experience. So don't fault me for that, because justice must be served, people, and this is what it looks like. So those that are last shall be first, which have always been us, and we are being first at this point. We are rising, people, and there's nothing that no one, no government, no anything can do about it, because this is the will of God. You know what I'm saying? This is God's purpose, man. This is his will, for our lives. And what I know, people, is, and I've known this for a while, that Holness is here to unite the Caribbean nations. And what I know is that Chroy is to unite the entire African continent. And as we continue to do that, when picking up again, as we continue to do that, people, then what happens is that, that's how we bring about the greatest prosperity period in the history of this world. The greatest innovation will come from the Caribbean and Africa, facts, and the diasporas. Because, that's our time. That's what it is, man. And, right now, one of the biggest things is that I know I'm supposed to pray for these leaders, and I'll do that this morning. I'll get to it when I get to that segment. But for right now, man, it's like, I just know, people, that over the next few years, like even next year, I know I'll meet these leaders. Now, how, why, or where, I don't know, and I don't really care. I just do the will of God, people. I'm just God's vessel delivering his message to this world. Take with it whatever you want to do, man. Do with it what you will. I'm just here to deliver the message, and it's up to you to respond the way you feel up to. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, realize that no one is above God. No man on this planet Earth is above God and God's will. And God's will must be done, shall be done in all instances. Facts. You know what I'm saying? No weapons that come against God people can ever prosper. Facts. That cannot happen. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, man, it's like, I just know as a collective that, all we got to do as individuals is continue to work on ourselves every single day and be okay with who you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, fall in love with yourself. Love yourself unconditionally. Take pride in our history. Take pride in who we are. And take pride in what we're here to do for this world. Because we are, as a collectively, indeed changing, transforming this world. God is using us to prove a point, people. You know what I'm saying? Humility, though, in the midst of all of this is that, everything that we shall accomplish is to the glory and will of God, man. We're just here as vessels doing God's work. We're all spiritual beings who operate and live in the fifth dimension. And, well, that's where I am, but that's where I'm getting you to be over time, people, as you continue to watch these videos every single day. I'm excited about the future, man. The future look extremely bright for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I see also is, like, I see it, people, where, the Caribbean and Africa will become one, and will become the most prosperous in the entire history of this world, man. Prosperity just permeates everywhere you go. Blessings. And that's one of the things I say is that, God have blessed our lands. Africa is not by accident to be the most resourceful continent in this entire world. Is that's God's favor and blessing. God have laid his hand on those lands. Same thing in the Caribbean, man. We have a lot more mineral, a lot more things than we actually tapped into yet. Right now they're talking about veins of golds in Jamaica that have never been explored. And it's supposed to be potentially one of the biggest one there is. You got 2 giant gold mining companies right now who's actively doing testing in Jamaica right now. through subsidiaries or partnering up with local companies. What's my point, people, is that we have everything we need, man. We have the resources, we have the resilience, we have the heart of freaking lions in us, man. And we are unstoppable force, people. We go for the things we want fearlessly and courageously on an every single day basis. You know what I'm saying? Is there unpredictability? Of course there is. Is there things that can happen that go wrong? Of course there is. But that don't stop us, people. If anything, it motivates us because we know not only that everything works itself out, but we understand that God's hand is up on this. We are indeed fulfilling God's will, God's purpose for this world, people. And I want us to get busy doing that, man. It's like, all I know is, people, is I know some powerful stuff is about to happen, man. And I see the future. I see the vision. We will help every single country in the Caribbean and African nations to be the most wealthy and powerful in this world, because we understand that we're all one. So what goes for one goes for all. We are as strong as our weakest link. So therefore we continuously reinvest our money into other countries. We don't have to go outside of the Caribbean and Africa to borrow no money from nobody, whether it's the IMF or any other nations for that matter. We have the money, we have the resources collectively. We just have to work as a team, man. Understand that we united, we're strong, people. United we stand, divided we fall. We are divided right now, but it don't have to maintain being. I was so moved yesterday as I was watching, I watched both videos. I watched Angel Holness offered ABM Chroy $600 million to invest in their country. Now, obviously, it's not like Jamaica splurging like that, but the fact that he had the wherewithal to understand that in life you sow seeds, man. And that right there was a seed that he was sowing into Africa, because he understands that Chroy is the leader of Africa, and by him choosing to invest in Africa, you know what I'm saying? Even though, because it's not what you give when you got it, you know what I'm saying? It's the people that what God sees, he sees your heart, man. He sees Jamaica. Yes, we're figuring shit out, but in the meantime, he was willing to invest 600 million US dollars into Burkina Faso without any strings attached, man. That right there is a great gesture, and obviously Troy was smart enough to see that. And also now they're talking about not only uniting, but uniting across the board as far as like education, sharing knowledge, best practices. And right now, I'm going to tell you, man, that guy Troy is a freaking genius, man. You know what I'm saying? And divinely, God has been operating and working through him. And I say this much, man. I go straight into the prior right now. I'm not going to do my regular segments today. I say this much, man, is that this right here, I pray over these guys' lives right now. I pray that God will continue to rise up inside of them, man. I pray that they'll continue to become their souls, realizing that they are God. God lives in them as much as they live in me. And I pray that they really allow God to take over their flesh, man, and really lead from the spirit, not from the flesh, but from the spirit, I pray that these two nations right here will continue to rise and figure out how to continue to collaborate and really help each other and uniting they're both continents, I don't want to say continents, but I'm saying uniting the Caribbeans and Africa so we can really and truly become one. I pray that God would put in them divine knowledge and wisdom in both of those men, and realizing their purpose in this equation, man, and realize that they have every single thing they need. They have all the knowledge, they have all the people around them to be able to accomplish and attain all the things they desire. Continue to work on them. Father God, Spirit of God inside of these men, I pray that your soul, your spirit will rise up in them, man, to take the charge. And, I understand infinite is the limit. There's no limit here, people. We are only limited based on our imagination, what we can create. And I'm telling you, what I've already seen is promising. And I will continue as time goes by to really find ways how to speak life into the vision of what I see for Africa also, not just Jamaica, but I'll be talking about Africa and Jamaica a lot moving forward. And I want us to continue to unite, man. Not just want us to, I know we will, because we got two great leaders in charge. And I'm just here to facilitate, orchestrate, and help out whatever I can to make that happen, man. And of course, to help Jamaica become the eye of this world. Jamaica, as little as that little island is, man, is the most powerful nation in this entire world. And people will get to see that with time. we are indeed the high of the world because we are the most influential nation in this entire earth. Believe me when I tell you that. Facts. And we'll become one of the prospects we are becoming. Forget that we are one of the wealthiest nations in this earth because we make money from every single nation in this earth. Every business I have will be out of Jamaica, and every country I make money from. And that money will be right there in Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? That's how we become the wealthiest nation on this entire earth, man. And I'm excited about that future. It gives me great joy, people. I don't know if you see the joy spilling out of me, but that excites me, And I'm so excited about the future of, just black people across the world, man. And don't get me wrong, again, I'm here for everybody. I always feel like I got to say that, man. But I want you to know right now, this is our moment, people. And I want you to embrace that. And for those of you that got comment about what you think about my thing, listen, man, I don't care about your opinion if it's negative. If it ain't positive, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing wrong with highlighting pro-blackness. And there's nothing wrong with me saying what I would like to see. You know what I'm saying? You need to check yourself. If you're getting negative vibes from hearing my message, then realize the problem is not me. The problem is you, and that's something you got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, unless you're telling God he's wrong, I'm just here doing God's will, people. I'm a vessel. The Spirit of God is using me, man. Anyways, man, my declarations over your life, people, is that, you are a millionaire. You are married to the person of your dreams. You have amazing health and is in the best shape of your life, man. I feel like I got to say this too, man. So here's the deal. Shout out, as always, to my collective, man. You know what I'm saying? We are indeed, as a collective, creating heaven on earth, people. And this is a big part of how we do it, Realize, people, that the gifts that we get by being a part of this collective, I'll rattle them down for you. Number one is that we get peace. You will have a certain level of calm in all instances, especially during turmoil, where you will have a peace that's unheard of. You know what I'm saying? You'll have joy that's spilling out of you as joy is spilling out of me right now. You will have love, people, genuine love, where people will genuinely love you, care for you, as you care for others. You know what I'm saying? Because love permeates through us. I am love. We are love. You know what I'm saying? You get that by being a part of the collective. Abundance is also your portion, people. Abundance come with favor and blessing, because that's what those equal to. Favor plus blessings equals abundance and overflow. And favor, we have an unlimited supply of that. That's where opportunities come to find us versus looking for it. It also means, we get in rooms and doors, man, that we could never do on our own. We don't even know they exist, much less being able to get ourselves in those rooms. Favor does that, people. Blessings, man, means that anything we touch turns to gold, people. We have the Midas touch. Prosperity, anything we do must be prosperous, people, because it is aligned with God's purpose for our lives, and this is the divine purpose that I'm operating from, people. So it's bound to happen. It's bound to be successful. That's blessing, and you get to reap in that, people. Here's the requirements, though, if you want to be a part of this collective. You don't need to text me asking for help. The videos is your help. Just watch the videos every day. But definitely here's the requirements. Number one is that you must choose to believe that the Spirit of God lives inside of you. That's number one. Number two is that you must follow my page and watch my videos, people. That's how you connect with me. As you connect with me by following me, we're connected energetically in the spirit. And that's how I get to really connect and work with you from your soul, like really help your soul to develop and remember who you are. Also, number three, people, is speaking your truth. And actually, I'm glad I touched on this because I want to explain to you this. This is very important. God definitely wants you to speak your truth, people, but here's what that means. See, your present circumstances is not your truth, people. That's what the matrix and the illusion of life wants you to believe. That is not your truth. The visions that you get from God, the visions of what you would like your life to be, the vision of what your amazing life look like, that is indeed your reality. So what happened is the way you inspire and motivate other people is not necessarily about talking all the chaos and problems you got going on in your life. Everybody got freaking problems. And we don't want to get in the pissing contest of who got the worst problems. Believe me, there's tons of that. You know what I'm saying? So instead, though, what you're going to focus on is painting the picture of the vision you see in your mind. because that should be drastically different from the way your life is right now. And see, that's how you inspire people, because people look at your life and say, damn, that's a sucky or horrible life. You know what I'm saying? Like, things ain't working out for them, but here you are with this vision of like all this freaking awesomeness, you know what I'm saying? Which is drastically different than what you have right now. How amazing is that? Tree again is confirming this, people. Listen, man, I'm telling you, man, speak your truth, but I want you to speak the real truth. Speak the truth of the higher version of yourself, because that's who you really are. You're not this freaking low level, low frequency person that you are operating from right now. So when you speak your truth, speak your speak your truth of the visions that God have blessed you with, of what your life can be like. That is who you are, people. Speak that truth to me. That's the truth that I'm listening for. Believing in yourself, overcoming your challenges. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all part of the process. Failing forward, failing and getting back up and keep on moving. Listen, man, blessings on to y'all, man. My prayer for y'all today, people, is that the Spirit of God that's inside of you will continue to rise up, man. Continue to lead you, shape you, and mold you to being the greatest version of yourself, man. I really do believe in you, people. Y'all have an amazing day, man. We'll talk tomorrow.